So anyone who would ever even dare question the toughness of Brian Balaga, there's Exhibit A. Um, but I knew of Dave, same agency. He roomed with my little brother during uh, like the lead up for the combine. So I'd known him. I'd known his older brother Eric for a long time. He's still a real close friend of mine. Um, Played in the league. Eric played in the league for a while. So I knew about Dave. He, was a little different back in those days, a little quieter. Hair was probably a little shorter. Body, uh, a little leaner maybe. Um, but talent-wise was always there. I think the thing about Dave that maybe doesn't get looked at a lot is he was kind of a later bloomer, and as was I. And I think a lot of times when you're in that position, you learn skills, um, that maybe outside your position group because you haven't kind of maybe always been the biggest and strongest or, a guy who played those positions. So I think Dave's athletic ability, you could see it right away. He had great feet. And as the set came along, you knew that he had a chance to be pretty special. The thing that he did and he continued to do is work on his body. And I work out with him in the off season out in California. It's a lot of fun, a really good group that's had a number of Packer players over the years, including Clay Matthews. And off-season Clay is so much fun. But Dave works really hard in the off season. I think he bulked up to really combat the bull rush. Feet wise, he's really hard for guys to get around him because he's so wide, gets a beautiful pass set, and it's just great feet. But the bull rush is where I think he really improved, just standing his ground against guys who want to kind of take two steps and come straight downhill at him. Look, he's super reliable. Never really worried too much about him. And he proved himself early on in that season that he was going to be a guy who had a chance to be a mainstay for a long time. I think the beauty in bringing him back and giving him a chance to get some more years here is he can maybe have a chance to be a lifer. I know that might not be the case for a lot of longtime guys, but I think you can now talk about him as not just a Packer Hall of Famer, but he has a chance to be a yellow jacket as well.
Steve McGargy.
Thank you for doing this. I was just wondering, the Colts defense is up there near the league lead or at the league lead in yards allowed per game, yards allowed per play. Just from what you've seen of them on tape, just what is it that sticks out, makes them so effective on defense?
Yeah, they're good at all three levels. They got a really nice front, penetrating, sets the edge. You got some really good players up front. They've been doing a good job getting after the passer. They're a vision defense, a lot of vision to the football. They swarm, create turnovers. They play the timing of the defense really well. They're really good linebackers with fast and athletic, flow downhill, hit the gaps, good tacklers. On the back end does a nice job communicating and be on the same page, with all their different coverages that they run. But, they just seem to be smart, heady players, vision to the football, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. They kind of make you go the distance, make you earn it. They've been tough against the run and the pass. I believe they're top 5 in both categories. Tom, is that right? Tom says yes.
Olivia Reiner.
Hey, Aaron, you've had the opportunity to see some of the more talented linebackers of the NFC over the last couple of years. Now you'll face Darius Leonard on Sunday. What stands out about him and his skill set?
Yeah, obviously I've heard about him, but haven't not played him for a while. I did get a scouting report from Pat McAfee yesterday, and I've seen obviously a good amount of film on him. He does it all. He's a really heady player. He's super athletic, sideline to sideline. He's also very willing and good tackler. He's one of those guys that makes him go. Be a fun challenge for us. I have a lot of respect for him as a player. He's a tough guy, and he's always around the football.
Mark Daniels.
Aaron, we saw, a lot of the evolution of year two, early in the season when it was really explosive. What areas do you think offensively you're still kind of reaching for more consistency?
Tom, in his infinite wisdom, just gave me a couple stats about our run rankings on 2nd and 6+ and 2nd and 10 or more. And that's an area we need a lot of improvement in, according to Tom. So I think that's one area that we're looking at for sure. We've been at our best. We've had third and manageables in those situations. We've been most games at 50% or higher. And that's what has allowed us to keep drives going and put points on the board. Last week, we actually had a number of situations and just were terrible on third and like 1, 2, and 3. I think we were 2 for 8. So third down, is always an important spot for us. We've been good in the red zone, I think. Just got to keep getting down there a lot. But, we had a couple games early in the season where we really ran the ball well. And we got to get back to controlling the line of scrimmage a little more. In the meantime, I think we've been throwing it pretty well. Got to keep finding ways to get certain guys involved. I'm not sure what Allen's status will be this week and Devontae, but hopefully those guys will be able to go and we'll kind of look a little more like we did in week 1.
Aaron Nagler.
Why don't you bring up 2nd and 10? I was just talking to Matt LaFleur about that. I do wonder, yourself at the quarterback position, lots of times you will have possibly a check with me or a couple of calls that you can go to at the line. Do you have to fight against frustration and or the tendency to want to throw it on 2nd and 10 if they are obviously probably playing the pass and the smart call is to check to the run, but you guys have struggled there. I think on average this year, about 3 yards per carry on 2nd and 10. Do you have to fight against that to say, look, I know these guys can get it done?
3 yards. Is that right, Tom? 2.86, Tom says. So yes, it's a roundup in that case. But
I was trying to be generous.
Thank you, Nags. I appreciate that. I understand your question. I think there may be a misnomer among yourselves and the others at Cheesehead TV. Is that right?
That is correct.
That maybe if the 2nd and 10 is called and it's a run pass, and I'm going to choose to pass out of spite for the.
Not spite. I didn't say spite. Come on now.
Okay. You know what? I think a lot of times in those situations, we do have advantageous looks to run the ball. I think it comes down to the defense understanding that. Now, if they give you some sort of softer shell on the back end, a lot of times there's line movement up front, or they're doing something with their gap control. And I think, got to do a better job communicating and then just it all being tied together. The best runs are when not just blocked well, but it's set up by the back. And also the receivers getting their blocks. I think as you saw last week, us watching the tape, there were a lot of opportunities where maybe we just didn't quite get one block, or we maybe didn't be patient enough on our aiming point with the back, or we didn't block great on the second level with the receivers. And it takes kind of all those things tied together to get positive plays. So we did, very good critical review of the film this week. I think there was obviously an understanding there's a lot of areas to improve. That's a coach's dream, I think, when you win and you can really coach the guys up. As players, we just need to be a little more accountable with the little things and the details if we want to be a great team.
Mike Spofford.
Yeah, Aaron, obviously the Colts defense will be a challenge, but with the weather you guys have dealt with the last couple of home games, just are you looking forward to a climate controlled game with some fans in the stands?
I am. I really am. At the same time, went outside the last couple nights. It was beautiful. There was like no clouds in the sky. The stars were out. And I was like, damn, why can't we play in this weather? It was, it was like 20 degrees, it felt like, and just beautiful. And I was thinking moving forward, I believe we have 5 cold weather games down the stretch, 4 at home, and then obviously Chicago will be cold down there. So I look forward to those games. We always have played good in that type of weather. We've had some good ones inside a dome as well. It'd be nice to have some fans there. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Packer fans in the stands, which is exciting. And it brings just a little bit, obviously, that atmosphere back to the game that we miss not having people around. But as much as I don't mind a controlled environment, I do enjoy those nice 20-degree weather games, maybe a little snow in the wintertime. We won a lot of those games.
Bill Huber.
Hey, Aaron, I'm not sure if you think a lot about measuring stick games, but are you interested or excited to see how you guys measure up against Indianapolis's defense? I mean, through no fault of your own, you've played a lot of weaker defenses so far. This will be a really, really stern test for you guys.
Yeah, Bill, I think every game is a measuring stick, and there's things that, ways that we can look at every aspect of our matchup and use it to our advantage when critiquing ourselves or coaching up certain things. Numbers are used to project things, but they're also a reflection of performance. And obviously, they've had really nice performances so far through 9 games on defense. We've done really well on offense, so it is a good matchup that we look forward to. But I don't know about measuring stick. I think every week in the NFL, it's about winning and it's about execution. And we've played great defenses in the past and done well. We've played defenses that rank really low and not done well. So it just depends on the execution and how things match up on Sunday.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Aaron, was it your decision to give up the union rep position? And if so, how much of that was due to the frustrations over the CBA that you so eloquently expressed on Jason's show and some others in the spring?
Yeah, Rob, I wasn't real happy about the way things went down. I think from last season, negotiating without a current player in the room, and then the things that happened in Indy and the way that the vote went. I wasn't real excited about it. I wanted to get involved in an important year because I thought it was a good look for the union. I can't say I was heavily involved. I came into some of the meetings late and at the combine, but I think it's time for somebody else to take that role who wants to spend a week of their life sitting in meetings and going through all that. To me, that's just not what I want to do at this point in my career.
Gotcha.
Mike Clemens.
Hi, Aaron. I wanted to ask you about the progress and the potential of 2 of your receivers, EQ, who's battled through some injuries, and Malik Taylor, who, you started to see him used in a variety of ways and plays during that training camp, and he makes the roster without a preseason game. And the other day, Sean Menenga said he's one of his top 3 guys that hustles on special teams.
Yeah, Mike. So what do you want me to say? What's the question?
What's the progress, EQ, and the potential of Malik Taylor on this team?
Yeah, I think the key for both those guys is the mental side. EQ obviously been dealing with some physical stuff, but mentally, I would say that he's ahead of Malik just because he has that rookie year where he played a bunch. I thought from a physical standpoint, he looked a lot better last week running around. He ran some nice routes. It's just, I think, about him getting comfortable again on the field and feeling good about his body. Malik is just mental. We just got to keep putting him in positions where he feels comfortable because he is talented. But if he's thinking too much, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, you're just not going to play as fast. So we got to keep thinking about how we can put him in spots to be successful. We all like the potential, but in this league, it's all